It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
We on a mission and that's bringing y'all the truth. You know the problem, but we get into the root. The devil watching, yeah, he always on pursuit. But Jesus is our rock, so we shall not be moved. We on a winning team, so we can't lose. We say facts, cause we hitting y'all with proof. Started from the bottom, now we standing on the roof. As God as our witness, we gon' make it to the moon. When you want the truth, the world be hiding it. This the real word, we providing it. We got Acee, BK, Truth, Rick Star, and we plan to make a movie like it's Pixar. We came a long way from the plantation. We just tryna save your souls from damnation. So if you down with the message, tune in every week. It will lead you to the message that you seek.
It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
Welcome to the Real Word Season 6, Episode 25. Shout out to everybody that's been watching. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting. Shout out to everybody that watches us on the YouTube. That's www.youtube.com/C for channel / The Real Word TV, or you can check us out at The Real Word TV on youtube.com. You can also check us out on Instagram at The Real Word Ministries Inc. on Instagram, at The Real Word Ministries Inc. on Instagram, or on Facebook, The Real Word Ministries Inc. or facebook.com / The Real Word 7. Also, you can catch us everywhere where podcast is found. That's Apple, Spotify, Soundcloud, Pandora. That's The Real Word Podcast. That's The Real Word Podcast on Spotify, SoundCloud, Pandora, and Apple Podcasts. We also, facts. We also on the Brick TV every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 noon, at 1 a.m. and 4 p.m. So check us out there. I'm here with my co-host. Introduce yourself.
You already know it's the one and only AI in the building. I'm your Instagram, Irving11. If it ain't no 11, you know. Just drink my tea, man. Facts. We also got a special guest in the crib today. Introduce yourself.
Alright, what's up? I'm Will, you know. It's my cousin right here. Just out here trying to do what we gotta do, you know. Get better as family and friends, you know.
Facts. So we thank you all for joining us today. We thank you all for coming on to the show. We thank you all for all your love and support. So tell people a little bit about yourself, Will.
Sure. Alright, so where do I start? Alright. Besides the fact that my name is Will, I'm 29, you know, grew up in Queens, Haitian American, play football. I just like to enjoy life, you know. That's really the biggest part about it. You know what it is? It's kind of hard talking about myself.
Wow.
But it's just like sometimes like, what do people really want to hear? You know, because I just go tell the whole story about my whole entire life, but I rather just like, you know, if questions as asked, I say something that kind of like describe who I am.
So Will reached out to me. He said he wanted to be a part of the podcast scene. For those that don't know, the Real Word was started because I had a pastor from church. He was like, young man, you have leadership qualities in you. He seen something in me that I didn't see in myself at the time, and he said, young man, from now on, everything you do, record it and share it with the world, and the world's gonna listen. I said, nah, that's cap. And we see 6 years later now, we on the Real Word, and it has opened up the world to us, literally. So, you know, I had a sermon that went viral. At the time, it hit 50K views, and from there, we started to show the Real Word. First episode, Why Do We Believe in God? And 6 seasons and 165 episodes later, here we are. So, you know, so Will wanted to start a podcast. So why did you want to start a podcast?
The funny thing is, like, your situation that you actually just said, it kind of relate to me. Like, a lot of my friends on Facebook, they tell me, like, yo, I like to joke around. That's what I do. I joke all the time. It's like, yo, why don't you just do something? When I hear you just joke, talk. So I just, like, you know, I just make up little stories just because when I got my kid, my daughter, you know, it's just like, gotta find a way, like, all right, cool. I know I ain't gonna be like the father that just want to run around and play. So to learn, pick up telling stories, you know. So eventually, when she starts talking, I'm gonna be able to tell her funny stories and then let her know, like, yo, you know, this is a story, right? You know, so stuff like that. Like, I'm able to like just practice to be better, you know.
Yeah, man, the kids are funny.
Nah, they are.
The other day, I took my daughter to the park, and she's 3 years old. Like, she just turned 3 maybe like 2 weeks ago, and there was kids in the park And I was like, damn, these kids are bugging. And then I didn't think like she was hearing what I was saying. So like the kids was running up the slide instead of sliding down. So me and her was on the top. And she's like, I'm going to slide down with you, daddy. And I was like, no, I'm too big for the slide. She's like, no, put me on your lap and let's slide down together. I said, okay. And then these kids kept running up and down the slide and falling down, falling and rolling on. And then I was like, go play with the other kids. She's like, no, daddy, I don't want to play with those kids. Those kids are bugging. And I was like, yo. And she used it exactly the right way, bro.
No, kids learn quick.
I was like, yo.
Kids learn quick. Nah,
you gotta watch you say around them.
That's it. Like, literally everything. Like,
yeah, like sometimes I'm like, damn. And she like, daddy, stop cursing, right. Daddy. And I'm like, yo, you 3 years old. Like, where you get all this from?
A 3-year-old telling.
Yeah, I be laughing, bro. I be laughing.
When your kids tell you stop cursing, what's your response back to that? It's like, why do you know that's a curse? Like, you know, like, what's up?
Nah, I just be like, sorry. I just like, sorry, my fault.
That's dope.
Yeah, but
That's dope.
I feel like that's the coolest thing about fatherhood, like, you know, watching them grow and then, you know, teaching them. And you're right, like, you know, like my daughter name is Amelia, and I'm like, she's my inspiration to like reach a millie, like, cause that's what we call her, Millie, like that's her nickname, cause her name's Amelia. So a little me in her, but a millie because of her.
Nice.
You understand?
Nice.
Oh,
that's nice.
Yeah, so it's like she's my inspiration to hit that million. Real talk. So it's like, you know, like, and she's spoiled. like spoiled every day. Daddy, what you bought for me today? What you bought for me today? Like every time a package come from Amazon, she's like, that's for me, daddy? Right. I'm like, no, it's not for you.
Nah.
So it's like, you know, fatherhood has taught me a lot, and it has made me a better man. And, you know, it did increase my hustle. I can say that.
Nah, I
definitely do. It has to.
I mean, if it doesn't, you know what? Even when you say that, I'll be honest. Like, I was one of those situations when I wasn't prepared or ready or even wanted to be a father yet. Mm-hmm. So I even went as far as it's like, yo, you know, you young. It's just like, yo, hold on, you pregnant. So I'm scared. You know, that's like scariest moment ever.
Yeah.
Oh, you dived in and it was like, oh.
It's so now I'm just like, yo, so. Me being young, not knowing how to communicate and stuff like that with my, you know, my shorty I was with during that time, it's my baby moms, you know. So it's just like, we decide, yo, let's do childless. Well, on my behalf, it's like, yo, let's get rid of it.
No.
So I'm thinking, I'm doing like, you know, justice, like, yo, let's get rid of it. I'm thinking like, nah, but I'm young and dumb and scared. So I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna keep it for my family. You feel me?
You go.
But that was like, nah. But it wasn't until like I actually went and actually this is when I realized I really wanted to be a father. Mm-hmm. I went and I heard a heartbeat. I'm like, that's what? And like everything just froze. You feel me? I'm just like, what's going on right now? Like, hold up. Like, everything froze. Literally, like even the heartbeat even froze. So nah, my heart is just pounding. I'm like, yo, it's true. And then from that point on, I'm just like, yo, understand, like, because I had a great dad, I can't fail it. You know, so that's where it started off. I wanted to be a great dad because my father was a great dad. So that's where it really kicked off. But it's great though. I love it. I love being a father though.
Yeah, man. And those are one of the things that teach you a lot about life in general, because a lot of the times, like, you have to see what life is and how life works in order for you to really understand life for yourself sometimes, because it does change you. And I could say, like, I was married and, like, I felt like I wasn't ready, not because I wasn't ready financially, it's just that the responsibility to be there for someone else 24 hours a day, you know, and to, like, raise someone like that to me was kind of scary. So, like, for me, like, it was real scary. So I try to focus on, like, just doing what I'm supposed to do and, like, just giving it up to God. Like,
true.
So what did you feel like now that, like, your daughter is grown, like, she's a little bit older? So how do you feel about that now?
Honestly, like, the fact that my daughter got older, the best way I had to, like, literally change was actually change myself. And that was on some, like, if I argue with her mom and stuff like that, but just anything, and not that we argue like that or anything like that, but it's just like, if my daughter's growing and she has to see me as an individual. And I remember when I was young, it's just like any little thing, I probably just viewed it wrong. So I'm just like, the best thing I gotta do is don't give nobody, especially not my kids, trying to give, you know, a reason to misjudge me. So I'm just like, best thing I have to do is just change myself.
And how did you change yourself?
Basically, things that, like, you know, when I do go out, I hear people tell me something like, let's just say like, I'm always late to something. Yeah, obviously, you know. When I start using my favorite word, I don't care.
Color people time?
Yeah, you know, but it's like, it was really more of a situation. My favorite word to escape from being responsible is I don't care.
Yeah.
So once I use that, just know, no matter what the situation is, it could just fail. I'm not even going to worry about it. But so I took that into like, all right, cool. Whenever I start saying that word, use it as a habit, like, all right, cool. Find out why don't you care about this situation? Why was it so easy? So I start doing that and I start realizing you just was running away from a situation that you just thought you didn't care. But one day you're going to care about it. So when I start thinking of stuff like that, it gave me responsibility for her. It's like, yo, you know, one day, right now you doing all this. Tomorrow, yeah, it's going to matter. Your dad, why you was coming home late? Well, you know, I can't tell her the truth because I don't want her to come home late. So when I don't want to, like, have to lie to her, I lie to the world. But if I got to, like, lie to her, that's when it's like, yeah, change. You know?
So it made you a better person, you saying?
Yeah, because, you know, well, I'm not going to, it's making me towards it because she's 3, she just turned 4.
Okay.
So it's like now she could really talk. So it's just like her opinion matters, you know. Her opinion is gonna matter, like no matter what. And then at the end of the day, she's got a son. So it's like she gotta watch me be a man when he gotta be one too. So with her not respecting me, I'ma feel like she's not gonna respect her brother, and then that's gonna be miscommunication from me because now I'm gonna have to like try to fix both of them. Oh, daddy like you more. Oh, my. Nah, it ain't like that. It's respectfully, if I got to make a joke, be like, I don't like both of y'all. If that's the case, because I'm going to treat both of y'all equally. So that's it. So, you know, at the end of the day, my father is the main reason I'm trying to be a good father. So, yeah, that's really that.
So the positive role models in your life helped you to be a better person?
I'm going to say, yeah, respectfully. I have to. And, like, I don't want to just say, because when you said the only reason I thought about it, because it's not just my father as a positive role model. Even people that was judging negative in my neighborhood. You know, for example, stories like when I was a kid. It'd be like the neighborhood gangsters. Like, that's like, yo, you better go to school today. I'm like, you didn't, in my head, you know, I'm scared to talk back. I'm like, you didn't even go to school. But of course, because I know he's watching me, I went, you know, he's watching my, so they made sure I was doing it. So one of the reasons I really want to do the podcast is to give back to them. Because I feel like they are the people that, they were so busy, messed up, and they knew it. And then when it's time to go back, they fixing the kids who ain't going to remember them. Now they homeless and grown, and you looking at them, forgot, yo, you know, he gave you advice one day, because he just realized, yo, it's too late for me, but he don't realize what he just did. Sometimes he could just open somebody else out that's like, yo, you know, I'm not going to forget you. One day if I ever see you in the street, yeah, I got you, because you made sure I was able to, like, not do the wrong thing that you did. So thank you. Why am I going to call you, oh, that's a gangster? Nah, you ain't gangster. You did some gangster stuff and got me right, if that's gangster to people. Now, I'm working, I'm doing 2 jobs, but I'm not happy working. But it's like, yo, why he not working? I ain't forget about you. I remember you scared me every day so I could go to football practice. You know, so stuff like that. People need to, like, start giving them credit. But yeah, that's what really makes me want to be a good person is people, you know, being judged my whole life.
And what's your podcast going to be about?
Everything, honestly, because it's just like, there's always somebody out there that needs to hear something straight up on something. I feel like if you pick one topic, or not everybody going to want to hear your message. Let's say, you know, it's just like, if you're talking about history, only people who want to do history class want to hear that. So it's like, but you never know. There's something in the history that I might not need to know who I was back then. But it's just like, I didn't know I need to hear history class. So I want to be able to, like, what today people is doing. Hey, let's say, like, well, I feel like I want to go fishing, do my podcast that day. Like, yo, be around me for the day. You know, just show a better example. The same way I seen people, they got to see me show the example. That's what I'm at with it.
What you think about that, Ace, about fatherhood and fathers impacting people's lives. Because he said that his father, the impact that his father had on his life, I guess, molded him into being a better father for his daughter. So how do you feel about that?
I mean, when it comes to fatherhood, I mean, you know, my father, I mean, the credit I would give him is, you know, he did the usual responsibilities of, you know, going to work, putting food on the table, making sure as his kids that we always had a roof over our heads. So I always give him credit for that. But like when it comes to connection wise, I give my mother the credit for that one.
Dope.
And like, you know, connection with kids, like I give my mother the credit for that. 'Cause, you know, she's more genuine. Like she tries, even though I be calling her Haitian.
Okay. Okay. All right, so I love that.
You know,
I love that.
Haitian
Yeah.
basically old school, but like, well, my mother's like, is like I feel like me and her have a special connection that before I didn't really notice that we had.
What
But
you mean by that?
what I mean by that is like, when it comes to being good with kids and stuff, I know I get that talent from her.
Or the loving side, you saying?
Yeah, like the love of kids, you know how to connect with them more than just, you know, doing the usual daily responsibility as a parent. So I'm just saying, like, yeah, I got those skills from her, cause you know, like talking to your kids, getting to know them, being around them, and all that's really important, cause you know you can't buy them forever.
Nah, that's true.
Like, you could buy them as when they're kids and all, and it's gonna be cool. You feel me? Like, cause you know, as kids, you like, we all know when we all kids, when we go to the store, we got parents. You be like, oh, buy me this, buy me that, buy me that. So it's like, you know, those times don't last forever. It's like when you get older, then there's come the emotions, the feelings, when you know people really need you to be there throughout their dark times and stuff.
True.
And like as a parent, if you're not there, that's like a trigger towards, you know, your kids. You feel me? Like it's always gonna be like that. Cause like money, like people say money buy happiness, but we know it damn well in heart. No, it don't.
I kind of want to agree, and I say money cannot buy happiness.
Yeah, it can, bro. Look, it could buy it to a certain extent.
I
That's what I'm basically like. When people say it could buy, it's like, yeah, it's true to a certain extent. But at the end of the day, that certain extent is basically like, this is temporary.
I mean, what is not temporary though? Life is temporary.
Yeah, like, nah, life is
So be honest, like we really here honestly temporary.
We here. We here temporarily.
Right.
But that don't mean everybody's here. Like, we're here temporarily, but like at the end of the day, not all of us gonna make it to the squad, you know, but some people is gonna make it to the squad.
Alright, okay.
When you say squad, what
Right.
squad you referring to?
I mean, like, I'm not saying we going to heaven.
Why not?
Basically, like, cause that's crap, bro. That's just basically, you know, that TV, and you know what I basically call it, you know, the pacifier, you know, the spiritual babies. That's what I call them.
Cool.
That's what I call them.
No,
spiritual babies. Like, it's levels to this.
No, there are levels.
For a while, they were saying that, you know, when we die, we go to we go up to heaven, blah blah. Then one day, you know, they gave us the book and was like, okay, there's no heaven. Yeah, it said it in the book that they gave us.
Like
In the lesson book, and if you study the Bible, it does say that there's a new Jerusalem. It's not a heaven, but Christ will come down onto earth and receive the world like his bride, and it will be the new Jerusalem.
Like, he will burn this, basically, like, you know, this earth is going to be burned up for a certain period of time. Then after that period of time comes, then it's going to be a new earth. But the new earth is going to only be a certain amount of people there. It ain't going to be everybody.
I ain't gonna front. When I'm listening, it sounds as if like you agree that life is forever, but there will be a moment when they just choose who will live forever. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like we all gotta die first.
Right.
No, well, not all. Some people might not be dead.
So let me ask you guys a question, right?
But majority will be dead because, you just gotta wait for that person.
Let me ask you guys a question, right? The life that we in right now, the physical form that we in, we're in the middle. As in, like, in the book of Exodus or Exodus, whichever one you want to say, it says in order for man to be born, he must exit out the matrix. We know the matrix is the womb.
Deep.
For us to come out the womb, that's when we come out of life. And remember, it was a movie called The Matrix where you gotta take the red pill, the blue pill, and then you actually gotta wake up and wake up out the matrix. You know, and a lot of people think it's a fake movie, but it's literally in the Bible. But because they translated so many times, like they changed the word. So to put it that way, right? State of consciousness. We don't know what was before we got here and came out the matrix and was born. As in when we came out the womb crying, right? We don't know what came before that.
Right.
And we just living in the middle, which is life from 0 to 100 if you make it to 100. Right. And then afterwards, when you die, you don't know what comes after that. But then you know that eventually you're reborn again, obviously, because you don't know what came before or what came after. You're just living in the middle over and over and over and over again, right?
Right.
So you fear death, but you know death is certain. But you know the only two things that's certain is death and life.
Right.
Like someone's always going to be born and someone's always going to die. But we're always going to be caught in the middle. And the life that we live is always that we're trying to accomplish things in the time that we're alive on this earth while we're still alive before we die and have to start all over again.
Right.
You understand?
Right, now I understand that, but ask me a question so I can like give you a... Because I do agree with everything you just said.
The question is, like, if we only living in the middle,
okay,
like we don't know what came before and we don't know what came after, how do we know that this is the first time that we're here?
Alright, that's crazy. Now the reason I say that,
no, it's the question. That's the question.
The question, to answer that question, how do we know like that,
this the first time we're here?
I have a lot of deja vus. I'm not gonna lie. Like all I do is have deja vus since I was a kid.
I think we all do.
Like on some, but mine is on some like. It reminds me of Egypt. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I tell my friends for some odd reason, I feel like I do connect to Egypt.
Kemet. Kemet.
Say that again?
Kemet.
Right.
That's Egypt. That's the name before they called it Egypt.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't even know that. I ain't gonna lie.
That's where Kemetic energy comes from.
Explain that, because that sounds interesting. I ain't gonna lie.
What, Kemetic energy? Yeah. Kemetic energy is what you haven't... the Asians call it Reiki.
Like with the North Pole, the South Pole, the magnetic and stuff like that.
Nah, I'm talking about the energy within you. Like that's what everybody talking about. No. That's what everybody talking about. The manifesting. Like a lot of women talk about it. Like, oh, I'm gonna manifest this. I'm gonna manifest a husband. I'm gonna manifest that. Happen. But it's like the energy in you. So if the Bible says, so a man thinketh in his heart, so it shall be. Right. And the Bible also says, ask and you shall receive, and prayer shall come unto you, but not in the way of which you want it to come. That's why Jesus said, if it be thy will, if it be his will, then it's going to come. Because man plans and God laughs. Meaning that this life is already planned out for you. But oftentimes we're like the prodigal son. Like we go left and right and we go around it.
I fully agree with that.
Alright, so go ahead.
The reason I can't really fully agree with life was already like set is only because due to the fact that literally, and I believe this is a playground. There's no way that, I'm not saying he's not that powerful, but I'm going to say the people that actually wrote his words gonna tell me how. I'm gonna use, like, for example, we watched the whole internet happen in our face, like from dialed phone to like we literally wirelessly. So,
but the internet was here the whole time.
No, it was. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I'm just trying to say we made sense of it.
We put it into mobile phones,
right? We made perfect sense of it. I'm not even saying that.
You ever sat down and an idea came to your head?
All the time.
And where you think it came from?
I'm gonna say from everything I saw around and what sense I made of it. You know what I'm saying?
Sir Isaac Newton, right?
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of Sir Isaac Newton, the guy that quote unquote invented gravity or came up with the idea of gravity? He sat under a tree and literally a apple hit his head, and he looked up like, huh? Okay, now let's put the digital and we put the analog. The analog is me and you, the actual physical beings. And the digital is the things that we can't see, right?
Right.
So in the digital, and especially the iPhones, there's something called the cloud, right? What's the cloud? There's supposedly something up in the sky where it downloads information into our phones. It's called the cloud.
Right.
Now, where did they come from that concept of as above, so below? In order for them to come up with a concept of a cloud that's downloading things to the phone, there's actual clouds in the sky, right? And we're saying that listen, and when we pray for guidance and we ask the Lord to order our steps, we download information from what? Up above. And it comes into our minds, and then we turn it to the physical realm.
I mean, see, with that, when it comes to like the whole thing, I don't like stepping on religion like at all.
No, it's
when
not
it comes
even
to
religion.
That, no, I'm just talking about when it comes to like the whole, people beliefs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Due to how I grew up, I feel like it's so different to the point, and I purposely did research on obviouses. Like, for example, I don't like being lied to, and don't lie to me if I could prove it. And then if I prove it, stop lying at this moment. And what I mean by that was one of my stories that I love reading because I just think like, wow, is the Virgin Mary. I'm not going to say I read it completely perfect, but I know the idea of it. But like my whole thing was, if I know what a sexual, yes, they say he came and did what he had to do. Cool, I'm going to take that. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm going to take that. You're going to lie to me. I'm not going to say it's a lie. You're going to tell me this, I'm going to take it. Now I'm going to make sense of it. You told me, okay, cool, well, that happened. So at the end of the day, she sexually had a baby. Yeah. Cool, now I need to know what is a sexual creation happen. It's just one person. When it comes to sexual reproduction, you will spit out the same thing. You're not going to catch an apple tree spitting out orange or none of that.
Yeah, of course.
So with that being said, and I did more research, found out how do you become a male or a female. I'm going to tell you right now, female got X chromosome. There's no way they could, like, a female alone cannot give you a man. Uh-huh. But now, with the X and Y chromosome we do have, we decide, hey, you could most likely give me a girl, but because this Y chromosome I'm about to put in you will literally, that whole mix of DNA is the only reason you will have a man. So now you ain't gonna tell me she did all this and a third. I'm not gonna call nobody a lie. We know women. Like, I've been around them. We know female, but they will say what they gotta do to save their life. Due to the whole thing with history, yeah, I ain't gonna front. If I love my wife that much, I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, this is the real situation, but you mean to tell you gonna kill my wife? Cause she kinda like, I don't wanna say what she did because I mean, what if she cheated? Who knows? Okay. Anything is possible.
I think the biggest misconception from the story with the Virgin Mary is the fact that the word virgin is used wrong. Throughout history, words have been manipulated and the definitions has changed. Right. Back then, when they referred to a virgin, it means a woman that is not married. So basically, like,
sexual has nothing to do with virginity.
No.
So this is some new thing that is created. Why?
Exactly. So when they say the Virgin Mary, like, yes, she was pregnant, but they're referring to her as a virgin because she wasn't married.
So it had nothing to do with.
It had nothing to do with sex.
That's like how back then.
She wasn't an actual virgin because she was pregnant when she met Joseph.
So they lied to me this whole time. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah. Just like they tell you that just like how they told you that the devil is a red man with horns on his head.
Oh no, that one. I'm not buying that. I ain't buying that.
But yeah, just look up the word virgin. Because remember, we're currently in English, which is a bastardized language. Before it was Latin, it was Greek, and even before that, it was Aramaic. So it translated from Aramaic to Greek, Latin, and then English. Right. So you don't think if it switched four languages, it was changed by the time we get into it?
Okay, cool. But what them languages they did change it from are languages that actually stopped. So at this point, you can't tell me it's a translation when it's just your opinion of what you took from that language.
Let's take a simple word like nice. What does nice mean to you now?
All right, nice, it means just doing something good, positive.
Yeah, but back then, nice means foolish, stupid.
I mean, why can't it if you actually understand a metaphor form of
But
it?
understand now, a lot of times when we do something nice for someone, it's not because we want to, it's because the benefit that we get after we do something nice.
I mean, that's the feeling you talking about. Like, no matter how you use that word, something positive, you could have been like, you did something great. If it's positive, it's gonna feel positive.
Yeah.
I could have said it in Creole. You feel my guy bon. You feel it.
But most of the time, 9 times out of 10, people do something nice because they want others to view them a certain way, not because they want to do it out of their own free will.
Alright, so basically there's no such thing as nice then if you say that.
Sometimes they feel foolish. Perfect example, let's take Valentine's Day. You might buy your girl chocolates, candy, jewelry, all these things, right? And you make her feel nice.
Okay.
She feels good. But then you look at your bank account and you feel stupid.
That comes into the perception. That comes into like who is deciding who, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, it's nice for me that I did it for her, and she, you know, huh?
Especially if you ain't hit the jackpot.
Nah, it's not even. See, that's when you put like a failure. That's when you decide if it was.
So you
nice.
telling me you looking at your bank account and you not feeling no type of way?
Honestly, me personally, I'm gonna go. I would have been looked at it before I did that mistake. So I'm not gonna just like, oh, you know what? Let me like not calculate a math that's already there, and there's a whole math. It's like, why am I gonna do that? And then I already know there's two sides to this. It's like either yes or no, and like this, I already pre-planned to make myself miserable. Cause I did. Nah, yo, come on. It's like she has that choice. Nice. Yeah, you know, she had that choice already. If I gave that credit and she said no, I'm out. But now, if I already pre-planned, like, oh, I need this, why I'm paying this, I'm be tight. Like, not that I didn't hit it. It's like, yo, you know, you could have just like not done this at all. At its simplest form.
Let's use a real life example like Bill Gates, right? You think Bill Gates is a philanthropist because he wants to be nice? No, it's because he
needs people to come to him.
He needs people to come to him.
But that's from a business point of view, though. That's different.
But to push his agenda too.
But that's technically his business.
But technically, he has the most well-funded nonprofit organizations in the world that him and all his billionaire friends funded. Right. And people think that they're going around being nice, but really they're going around manipulating different countries and cities and putting things into motion that they want to do.
See? Exactly.
Nah, with that, I'm not going to disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, people's going to have to do what they got to do. Like, one thing I did hear a lot growing up was it's a dog eats... That one, too. But it's a dog eat world, you know.
Dog world.
But I'm just like, you know...
Next guy always get stepped up.
That's not true neither. Like, I ain't going to front. Like, next guy do that.
I'll give you an example.
Alright, cool.
They always say... Every girl want a, sweet, romantic.
Right.
But we all know damn well that's not true.
Nah, see, it's true as hell, bro. I'm telling you.
Bro, I'm talking about the way they say all of this romantic. Like, nah.
Nah, I'm telling you, it's true, bro.
So what about the girls that love thugs?
I'm gonna say all of it's true, because
they cheat on the romantic.
Nah, yo, at the end of the day, she's going for imagination that we gave them. Yo, right now, right? Nah, that's not what she's saying, yo. Nah, that's not what she's saying.
You never get mad at me.
That's still not what she's saying. Yo, when a female, for example, like, when a females actually want you to be more assertive, like, like just more aggressive, they ain't gonna be like, oh, choke. That's just like the imagination they already implant in their head since they was young. Oh, you need to be, like, for example, best way I could explain that, right? I'm growing up, I don't like to play fight, because if we're gonna fight, I wanna fight, straight up. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that whole play fight stuff. So now, I feel like when females watch that growing up, oh, look, they play fight because they bros, and then it's not third. Now, she takes it, oh, this is how, you know how like bros, they always fighting and they just show love in the side third. That's confusing. Straight up. I'm not about to play fight with you, and then let's just say me and him, we best friend, we play fighting, right? And you, my cousin, and he ain't know that's my best friend, and you saw him like, we play fighting. You took it the wrong way completely. Like, now, depending on he beating me up, or who's beating who up, you might be like, oh, my cousin is buns. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, nah, we were just playing. He probably was just trying to, but now let's just say,
he might just pull a
right, and just end your whole life. You know what I'm saying?
A tempting situation.
Nah, for real. But now imagine how like females who actually fears the males as when they so young, just watching that. So when they gotta get confused, like, oh, they didn't really hate each other. That's love. Now when they want love, that's what they think when they didn't get the right proper direction. Like, yo, that's not love. We just playing because we toughen each other up right now. I don't need you, my shorty, to be that tough. I just need you got my back because I'm toughening up right now. Because when it's time for the little things that I'm too busy not worrying about, damn, she was that weak to care for that. Because sometimes one thing about me, I don't really care to show emotions. And I feel like my shorty should be that. And that's my weak point. It's like, I'm not about to show you emotion, straight up. But like, if my shorty's smiling next to me, you'd be like, damn, he not even that mean. I'm like, yeah, nah, she's the mean one, actually. You know what I'm saying? That's when I just feel like, I don't know, man. It's so much, bro. It's just like, nah.
I think a lot of things are lost in translation, like you were saying about the whole Virgin Mary thing. And I think because at times it is the blind leading the blind, like they don't break down the aesthetics of things.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say.
People grow up with this miseducation, you know?
Yeah.
And it takes time
1812.
when we get older to realize that even in church, a lot of the people that was leading the churches was lost themselves.
Yeah.
And a lot of them lack information and education, and it's not until you get educated and you around these people and you're like, I don't fit here no more.
You know what I call them, spiritual babies.
True.
Like,
But like, who do you learn?
you came this
Who
week
can
to
you learn
get your
from?
milk.
Who can you learn from though?
Self. I think
How?
that's the best.
If
Read
you
a
already-
book, self-education.
But a book is somebody else already writing it, so it's like, how can you tell me, like, learn from myself from somebody else who actually was being misled too?
I think the greatest teacher is life.
Basically.
Like, you gotta learn your own experiences, and then, you know, hopefully one day you write a book.
See, I feel like that's not fair to say.
Why?
The greatest. How about those that can't learn properly? How could their biggest life lesson is life?
I mean,
They
they
just follow
still
the
gonna
crowd.
have to live,
They follow the
regardless.
Yeah, but if they too busy being judged and they can't come out properly who they are, how they gonna live? They live in your world now. When you trying to tell them like, oh, you too this, you too that.
Eventually they're gonna come out.
Nah,
You don't think so?
some of them probably killed themselves before they come out. Not everybody's that strong.
That's true, because some people do kill themselves,
Before
unfortunately.
they come out, not everybody's that strong.
Yeah,
bro.
but some people eventually like they change. Like when I was younger, I used to care about what people thought about me, and I used to care about I used to feel like, okay, I gotta be cool with everybody.
Right.
And last year or earlier this year, like somebody had hit me up, and they was asking me personal stuff, and I'm like, this person thinks that they know me based on what they see online, or based on what their perception of who I am, or their perception of who they think they are is.
Right.
And I was like, yo, bro, like, I don't F with you like
Right.
that.
Right.
And like, I told him that straight, and it sounded like it hurt his feelings. He was like, oh,
I thought we was that cool.
yeah. He was like, oh, you a wolf in sheep's clothing. I'm like, bro, when did I ever tell you I was a sheep?
Right.
Like, what made you think that?
Now, you know what it is?
Like, what made you think that? And I'm like, bro, like whatever you think it is, bro, like, I don't F with you like that, bro. Like, I really don't. And I had another conversation with the other guy. I was like, yo, bro, I don't gotta, give fellatio to other men or kiss the behinds of people for me to fit in or feel comfortable with myself.
That's not disrespectful.
Like-
Why would they say shit like that to
That's like-
somebody?
Like, no, I said that to him.
Oh, damn, y'all fine.
And I was like, yo, like, in order for me to be a man, like my biggest flex is being myself, bro.
Nah, that's a fact.
And being
That is
comfortable
it. That's
with
it.
myself.
That's it.
Like, where I can stand in a mirror and be like, all right, I'm me. Like, the good, the bad, the ugly, like, that's me, bro.
Right.
Like, and I'm gonna be me regardless. Like, it's either you take it or you leave it, because majority of the time the ego only lives in the past or in the future, meaning that we always stress over things that happened to us in the past, like,
It's about to happen.
my mom and dad wasn't there for me, I went through all
Right,
of this,
right,
blah
right.
blah, oh, my life was hard,
Right.
like, we stress in the ego, oh, you did this to me in the past, you did that to me, blah blah, I can't get over it. That's the past.
Get over
Then
it.
the future. Oh, one day I want to be this person. One day I'm gonna do this. One day I'm gonna do that, blah blah. One day you're gonna see.
Right, like,
That's
yo,
the ego now.
right. It's like, yo, just do it.
But the present. What are you doing right now,
Right.
bro? Like, what are you really doing right now?
Right.
And,
What are you doing?
and the fact that, and another thing I learned is that a lot of people are more likely to support someone that they don't know directly, as in, like, a Michael Jordan or LeBron James or someone like they let me just finish this thought. They more likely to root for that person because they don't have to be held accountable according to that person because that person is so far and few removed.
Right.
But someone right next to them, it's hard for them to support them because then it magnifies their insecurities because then they're gonna feel like, damn, this person was able to accomplish all these things and we started at the same. Why he's there and I'm not.
Right.
So then it's like, you know what? Fuck this nigga.
No, that's true.
Like that's how they feel.
It's easy to hate, but
it really is easy to hate.
So like that's how I see it, and it's like it got to the point where you got to be comfortable within isolation because it's when you're in isolation that you're able to grow and develop and let every man know thyself. That's where you really get to know who you really are because it's easy to hide in a group of people like because then it's group thought. It's like, yo, you smoking, I'm smoking. Right. It's like, yo, you having sex with people, I'm having sex with people, like, we all hoes, we all cool.
Right.
But it's like, nah, bro, I'm not doing that. I'm good. Like, I'm gonna do something else.
They gonna look at you like,
nah, bro, I'm good. Okay, like, let's come back 2 years later and see where we at.
Right.
And you see that with your friends and family. You see that with your friends and family.
Definitely.
You see competition. That's the unfairness.
Life is a competition, bro.
It shouldn't be.
It is though.
It shouldn't be.
Why you think people are divided into different subsections called race? What is a race?
I mean, that's because people want to be. They want to be competitive. For what?
For what? Because it's life, bro. Like everyone is competing to live the best life that they can while they're here.
What is the best life?
According to whatever your standards are. Some people's standards is yo, I ate a whole meal today. I smoked a spliff. Like I clapped some cheeks. I'm good. Some people feel like I cashed out $1 million today. I live in a 10-bedroom home in Calabasas. I'm good. A person like I just got a roof over my head. I got a tarp and I got a blanket, bro. I'm good.
So how about those that they only doing that because that's what society that they in want that? Are they living life?
Because there's people every day that live within our society but that live outside of society. And that's what they want. Like you could drive down a block and see a homeless person right now. And you could drive down a block and see a person in a Toyota, person in a Mercedes, and a person in a Maserati.
Right.
They all live according to their own standards. The person in the Maserati could feel like he broke because there's a person that he knows that got a Phantom.
Shit. Like,
yeah, he could have a whole Lambo.
But are they really broke though?
To them?
But are they really broke?
There's people that's rich and there's people that's wealthy.
Exactly. So a rich person, he gonna look at the wealthy and be like, I'm broke, bro.
And then the broke person gonna look at the rich and like, damn, I'm broke.
Cause remember he's surrounded. The people he's living with, they all got cribs like him too.
So what if like I just want to be basic and I'm around rich people? I'm like, shit, I'm richer than them.
Then that's you.
Nice. But and then it's like
you could be rich in spirit.
When am I allowed to actually walk around and say I'm richer than this guy just because I just feel that happy?
That depends on your definition of what riches is.
But if we competing for one thing, shouldn't that one definition just be what rich is?
No.
Then it's not a competition. That's what I'm trying to say. Look,
I'm gonna answer your question, right? Mm-hmm. It's only a competition if you choose to be in the same game as me, right?
Right.
Because the LA Lakers and the Buffalo Bills cannot be in competition with each other. The Buffalo Bills is in competition with the Patriots and the Lakers are in competition with the Celtics because they're in the game together. They choose to be in that game.
Right.
They choose to be in that playing field. Right. If me and you was both like stock traders on Wall Street, we're in the same game, so now we're competing. If me and you are garbage men and it's like, all right, bro, like I got a quote, I could hit 10 houses right now, but we're competing. So
right. I agree with that.
One more, like you see Conor fighting Floyd. They fighting in boxing. That's his game.
Right.
He stepped in his ring.
I agree. Competition is there, but we could alter competition though. It doesn't have to be a competitive thing. What I'm trying to say is, like, for example, right?
What man don't compete with other men?
We don't have to.
Like, you don't have to.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, no, you could win. Trust me. It's like,
how could you win if you're not in the game?
If a draw, could you feel happy? Y'all both got a draw?
Nah.
For real? Why not?
Because you're not.
Nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt.
You could, but
The whole point of the draw
competing.
was because we competed equally. So yes, it was a competition.
Nah, but somebody gotta win.
For why?
Because then
Game
it won't be a
over.
competition.
Nobody died. Nobody hurt. We both happy.
Okay, so then that's a partnership. That's something different.
But what I'm trying to say is,
so
yes,
once you're in a
competition.
partnership, then you're no longer competing. You're working together, which means you're working together probably against someone else, whoever your competition may be.
But all right, let's stick to the sports. You can't unless you're on my team.
There's no
competition. We are working on the same team.
Exactly.
But now I'm trying to say, for it to be a draw, it's because me and my opponent, literally, no matter what competition we just did, your offense, my defense, literally just proved we are a draw. Now. We both could literally decide how we're gonna end this game. Do we gotta go to overtime to finish off, or can we like shake hands? We don't have to. I play football, right? Look, I'm gonna tell you right now.
The only reason why it ends in a draw
Because
is when
it's
you
a
both
draw.
quit.
It's not a. We both what?
Y'all both quit, which means you succeeded. We both quit. Let us
time
end
is
as a draw.
up. Time is up.
Nah, if you go to overtime, you go to double overtime sometimes.
There's
and triple
regulation that
overtime.
says you only get a certain amount of time.
So that means that someone else decided that it was over, not you.
But we agreed to go to that competition. So yes, I agree. I only want to go against you for 1 hour.
So what happens
more. If I don't?
But look. If it's a championship, right? A championship can't end in a draw. It got to keep going until somebody.
No, that's
wins.
because somebody want to see somebody win.
Exactly.
But what I'm trying to say.
That was the whole point of
no, I understand that. Yes, but
because you wanted to win the champ.
Yes, but I mean, honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now. Me as an athlete,
you want to win.
I want to win.
Okay.
No. Yes, I want
If
to
you
win.
don't win,
If I
how do you
lose, I'm not walking off the field as if I lost. Yo, if I put every sweat and like any energy I had on the field, ain't no man gonna tell me I lost just because you beat me.
But then I bet you the next game you're gonna try to win.
I'm gonna try every game.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean I have to win every game. You know what I'm trying to say?
You're not gonna win every game because in order for you to win, someone has to lose.
But yeah, I understand that. What I'm trying to go is I don't have to feel like a loser just because I lost.
Yeah, because you took one L.
But
But you're not gonna try to take
if I
L's
lose
for
the whole
rest of your
season,
life.
straight up, if I lose,
If you lost the whole season, bro,
and I gave my best, I'm not walking with my head down.
but guess what? You gonna ask for a trade.
No, I'm not.
Or you're gonna come back next season.
I will come back even way harder. Obviously,
try
the
to win.
competition
And
was
if you
not.
go
I'm trying to say
losing
every
season-
game I am trying to
But
win.
how many losing seasons will it take for you to say, yo,
To give up on life? If we talking about life, never.
No, you're not giving up on life. You're
We're
just
not
gonna
talking
get
about
traded.
Then what are we talking about?
We're talking about. You're saying that if you do lose, right, because
Right.
someone else won, which means someone outcompeted you and someone beat you, right?
And I won't feel bad.
You won't feel bad, but then you're gonna come back and do everything that you can to win.
Right.
That's the point. So it's still a competition.
It is, yes. I'm agreeing with all that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, win or lose, that same way I walked in, I walked in to win. Yes.
But you're gonna keep competing.
Even if I win, I'm still competing.
That's the point, bro. So you agree with us.
But I'm trying to say it's not about the win or loss. Straight up.
But you're gonna
But
continue
y'all,
competing.
but if y'all asking about me, yes, I'm gonna compete, win or lose.
But
That's
you're
what I'm
gonna
trying to
wanna
say.
win.
Always.
You don't compete. All right, so you proved the point.
But my thing is, I'm okay with a
Alright,
draw.
but we'll
I'm
give
okay if I lost.
You gotta be okay
We'll
with it
give
because
you
sometimes
another-
you take L's.
There's people I watch them kids take a L, bro.
Yeah, so that's them.
But I'm
They
saying
have
me
emotional problems.
individually, I
We'll
can take a. Yeah.
give you another example.
Give me-
If you don't take care of your daughter, right? Let's say you don't make her, you don't put food on the table and all. What you gonna feel like? You took an L.
I'm gonna
right?
feel like shit. You're right.
Yeah, you're gonna feel like, yo, I feel that's a father, right?
But now, okay, check this out.
So clearly, you thought you lost.
I mean, now now right now as a father, right? You did everything you can. You couldn't get that meal. I'm just saying. Let's just speak negative. You did everything in your power, but
You going as a father, you gonna make sure you gonna get that food.
of course.
What you got?
But that's right. But let's
So
speak
you know you ain't put it on the
negative.
table,
Let's speak negative.
you know
Let's
how
speak
you gonna
negative.
feel.
That's what I'm trying. Let's speak negative right now, right? So as a father, you can't get that meal today. So that means you're gonna put your head down and not try to get the meal tomorrow.
Nah.
But the
That's
fact
what I'm
that you're
trying
gonna
to
get
say.
the meal tomorrow
I'm not
means
gonna
that you're
be-
still gonna keep competing.
But that's exactly what I'm saying.
So we still competing.
We saying the same thing.
We
What I'm
all
trying to
saying the
say
same
is
things.
I'm always gonna work with my head up.
But you're always gonna continue competing.
Always.
Okay.
Yes, that's the
Always.
final thing. Always with my head up.
So
I'll
that's what
compete,
I'm
win,
saying.
lose.
Your question was, why are we always in competition? And you answered it because there's always tomorrow, and tomorrow is always an opportunity to win. So as long
Right.
as you have life, you're gonna continue to try to compete.
Right, but I also started saying I'm okay with draws.
Yeah,
straight up. If we both won today, no. If right now, I'm saying right now, if the national champion, okay, let's say they changed the whole method of how we won, right? Mm-hmm. If literally they say, yo, no matter whatever it was, they goes, hey, look, listen, y'all got 1 hour to win this, and if y'all don't win, y'all gonna have to split that cup in half for y'all team. I'm with it.
Okay.
Straight up. That's my whole mission. That's my whole thing. I'm okay if we all could be winners.
But that's the people at the bottom. What you mean? I'm gonna break it down to you.
Talk to me.
The people at the top, what they call the 1%, right?
Yeah.
And the 1% are who? The people that won.
Right.
For example, Elon Musk. They call him the real life.
One in what? One in what?
One in life, billionaire.
That's what winning in life is, a billionaire.
According to their standards.
I'm gonna tell people. I know people who probably broke, live over 102 years, and I watched them. They winning to me.
And that's according to your perspective and their perspective.
But in our reality of life, if we talking about the race of life, the day your life ends is when life is done. I saw people live broke for 102 years. Tell me they didn't win that race, bro. Come on.
According to their standards, because sometimes that's all they know.
Alright.
I know people that's living under the 200% poverty level. That's all they know. They make about $12,000 a year, and everything else in their life is subsidized by the government. Mm-hmm. They feel like they're good. They live on government vouchers that pay their rent, or government assistance, or public housing, the projects,
right.
And then they get food stamps about from $250 to $400, depending on how much kids they got. Right. They get public assistance cash, cash. And that's their lives. For them, if they catch a dude that got bread or they find a way to make money, they feel like they're living the best life that they could live. To them, they're winning. Then it's a woman.
But are they winning right now? If we judging them, if the judge right now says, "Oh,
it depends on who's judging."
We the judge who know if who's winning right now.
If we're judging, then according to my standards, I would say no. I would say no, because my standards would be based on what else I see. Because those people, their vision is narrow. They used to living off of $12,000 a month. I mean a year, and there's people that's living off
currency though. So until we made it,
So what is currency?
Currency is whatever you make.
No, what is currency? What is currency? I'm not talking about money, but what is currency? Currency is the flow of energy,
of exchange, right? Yes.
No, the flow of energy.
All right, yeah.
The energy, as in, like, if I switch the light on,
all right, you change the currency of it. Yeah.
Energy flows through it, and it creates a current, which lights up the lifeboat.
All right.
Like, that's a current, and it creates currency, which means the energy keeps flowing through it.
Okay.
Right? A perfect example is with water. When water is high, then they say it got high currents because there's a high flow of water that's coming in at one time.
Cool. But yeah.
Okay, so now we talking about ourselves now because we're talking about currency in the form of money.
Right.
The more money you have, which means the more flow of income you have, which means the more things that you can do and the more things that you could put out.
Which is true,
the more
but
things you can put out, the more power that comes with.
And the things you could do. If you're living on for $12,000 a year, you can't really take a vacation to, like, let's say Cabo, Mexico.
But what if you don't want to go there?
Because you can only afford to go to the corner store.
But what if the corner store is such a dope ass trip for you?
But that's all you know.
Really? What if you just know, like you just? I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you a dope story, right?
Mm-hmm. Your imagination depends a lot.
On what?
Some people think that going to Coney Island is lit. A person living in the hood, to them, if they go to Manhattan, to Soho, like, to them it's lit. They're gonna take pictures and call everybody's day know, like, yo, I'm in the city right now, bro. I'm lit right now. I'm lit. You ever heard about that though?
All the time.
But then somebody like, yo, I'm in Paris right now, bro. I'm lit. I'm in Paris, bro. I'm lit. Okay, look, there's levels to it, bro.
There's no at the end of the day, but tell me, I'm not no rich. I'm not rich, but I'm gonna tell you, if I'm looking outside, yeah. If we talking about life, that's what the whole thing is about, life, right? Yeah, life. What's the definition of life to y'all?
Life to me is a game. As in, like, perfect example is Monopoly, right? Mm-hmm. We all start at level 1. We start at level 1. As we go across the board, we try to accumulate different things.
Right.
Like me, I'm a collector and a seeker of knowledge. Me, the more points I could put on the scoreboard, the more trophies I could obtain. Mm-hmm. It validates me according to my standards.
True.
As in, like, the more degrees I could attain, the bigger the salary I could get, the more expensive the car I could get, the better clothes, the more comfortable that I am, I feel accomplished. I could look around at the things that I did and like, wow, I really did that. Right. For me, I don't see myself living poor, bro, because I used to be poor.
What is living poor?
Okay, I used to be poor. When I first came to America, my family of 5 lived in a room in a basement, the size of this studio.
Right.
The 5 of us in the basement. It was us in the basement and Uncle Willie. I don't know if you remember Uncle Willie.
Remember him.
He owned the crib. And my father, he drove gypsy cabs. And we all lived in the crib, like the whole family. Even your grandfather, he lived in the same crib too.
Oh, I heard that story.
Yeah, and your
was it in
grandmother.
Brooklyn?
Yeah.
It was in Brooklyn.
Yeah, on Jefferson Ave in Brooklyn.
That's dope. I think I
Bushwick.
came to that house before.
Yeah, in Bushwick.
Oh, shoot.
So
Schneider was there.
yeah, Schneider was there
I
too.
remember that.
And then he moved further down the block. And we, ironically enough, years down later, my parents ended up buying a crib and we rented to Schneider and his family.
That's dope.
So I seen what my parents was able to do from living in a room in the basement, not a bedroom, a room
right.
with like other people in other rooms,
Right.
to where we at now. So for me, it's a different kind of hunger, bro. Like I know how it is to like wear a pair of shoes till there's no more soles and you walking in, water is going in your feet and you gotta rip the top off the cereal to make soles with the top cardboard of a cereal box. I know that kind of pain, bro. Like I know the kind of pain going to the store. Like I didn't see my first paper dollar till I was 11 years old. Right. My whole entire life I had food stamp books. I used to go to the corner store with food stamps book and rip it and pay. I used to get wood checks to buy cereal and milk. That's where I come from.
Yeah, so I was in Haiti during that time.
So I hustled to the point where my daughter don't gotta live that life. You feel me? Like she got her own room. I ain't get my own room till I was 25.
Right.
My daughter got her own room as soon as she was born.
That's dope.
So like that's the different kind of hustle for me. And I know the 2 different type of worlds. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like so for me it's different. Like I can't judge somebody that's happy off their whole family living in a 1-bedroom or in the projects right now. Like that's their business, bro.
Right. That's
their business. But my business is different.
Matter of fact.
And so my business, I'm in the business of opening businesses to help other people that's living in poverty to try to raise them up.
Right.
So in order for me to help others, I gotta help myself first.
True.
So that's the way
that's the way it is.
That's the way I see
You always
it.
gotta build you first.
So I'm not looking at the next man talking about, oh, this man only graduated high school, so if I graduate high school, I'm good. I'm not looking at this man like, oh, he only got an associate, so I'm gonna get an associate, so I'm gonna say I'm good. Like, nah, that's what you chose for yourself, bro. I could choose different for myself, but I'm gonna put in the work to get what I want for me in this life. If you satisfied with 12,000, that's your business. If I'm satisfied with 100,000, that's my business. Because you're gonna look at me and you're gonna have 12,000. I'm gonna have 100,000. You're gonna feel away. I'm gonna have a mill and you only have 20 bands and you're gonna feel away.
So I got a question.
I was gonna feel like.
I got a question. So now.
Gonna feel like you got more.
Nah, so earlier y'all said something about the dude driving the Rose Road still feel miserable because somebody is driving something better.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Now when we go back to the whole currency, this is what I'm trying to say. That person, if all they could do at that moment is live that lavish, I'm not gonna say you could live lavish life in America with 12 whatever. That's just crazy for me. I'm just like, wait, what? But I don't care.
There's people like that, bro.
Yo, no, there's people like that too. But when I'm not gonna like act like I make top money.
They live in the Bronx.
Living on 12K, bro, you gonna have to sacrifice some days of the year.
I don't know what they sacrifice.
You gonna have to eat ramen for like 3 days a week.
No, they get food stamps, bro. They be lit off the food stamps.
Oh yeah, the food stamps doing it.
Honestly, I'm not gonna say, oh my family got money or this and that third or not. I'm gonna say there's a lot of stuff I was able to. My father did the part. When I was able to like not even witness, he even like was my Superman the whole damn time. You know, until like, you know, I felt it was moments when I got teammates who, you know, like we played football together, made it. And then when I'm actually reading their articles, it was different for me. I'm like, wait, kids was allowed to live in the house? Like, what? You mean to tell me this happened to you as a kid? You didn't eat what? So a lot of life, it was not until I got to high school I was exposed to a lot of stuff. And I came here like young, but it was just like the fact that my father knew was out there, he made sure to keep my peace of mind. That's why I'm like, yeah, I do want to help the world, but I want to go deeper into helping homeless people. Not on some like, oh, I'm not even going to say, like, I want to help homeless people on some like, it's not even about the money. Like, I actually look at some of them. I'm going to tell you a crazy story that happened. I'm pumping my car, right? I'm pumping gas in my car and stuff like that. bad mood. Like, you know, I drive a nice car compared to some, you know, some people would say. So he decide, oh, yo, let me pump your gas for some change. But I'm just like, I'm looking at him. I was not even in a good mood. I'm just like, yo, bro, like, can you just talk to me instead? You know, I'm like, I still give you the change, but I would rather you talk to me because I didn't hire you. It's not about the money. If all you wanted from me was the money, well, here, take it. I got enough to give you. But can you just like make me laugh? Because right now, what if I'm in a car driving this nice ass car, not in a good mood? You know what? I'm not in a good mood. Don't even take your foot off the pedal, bro. You know, shit like this happened. Not saying I'm suicidal or anything like that. But my father gave me the opportunity to think for people because all he was doing was thinking for me as he was trying to protect me, but also giving me like advice, like, yo, bro, this is how it is. This is how it is. But I'm just like, yo, bro, no, it's not. So I was living like an imaginary world, like when he really made me believe, you know, I live across you from the projects and stuff like that. He really made me believe like, oh, no, don't worry about what you see. It's imaginary stuff. Until like I really had to like look at some of my friends. I'm like, wait, you mean to tell me there's meals I could have just brought to you that was at my house? Like, there's moments I'm at home. I'm like, I'm not in a mood. You forcing me to eat. So it's just like, wait, can I go give this to my friends instead? If I knew I could have done that across the street, yeah, fuck that. Take it, bro, you know?
So why didn't you?
I didn't know better. I didn't know they needed it. Until one day, I was in the corner store, right? So now I didn't have change and I always lose my cards. And then one of my homies from across the street, as I got older, I started knowing the difference. I'm like, okay, cool. He came in, like, he noticed my, like, you know, situation. You know, but I'm like, I know his situation. He offered to pay for my food with his card. I'm just like, huh?
EBT card?
Yeah, but I'm confused. Like, that's dope. I know what this card is about from my imaginary. You know what I'm saying? Not what the truth is about it. Because, trust me, I'd get it right now if I could, in a heartbeat. But now, when he did that for me, I'm like,
getting that much, huh?
I don't know what he getting. It's not even about the money he was getting. It was really on something like, yo, I heard stories about, you know, situations people might be in, not that I know the truth of it. It's just like, yo, you just did that for me. So now that's when I found out they can't buy warm food with it. I said,
yeah, you can't buy hot food.
Right, so I'm like, I'm gonna pay him back one day, not by money or currency. That happiness, I'm gonna give it back to him because I could have gave him whatever money. It's like, okay, cool. I'm not happy I gave him that money, but now caught him slipping one day. Yo, what's good? Oh, I'm hungry. I'm like, all right, cool. I got you. Let's go to a restaurant that gonna give you some warm food. You don't need this. Not that saying, oh yeah, this lifestyle is not good enough. But if you understand the difference with that little you did for me, if I returned it, it was not enough. But that little in my world, yeah, this is what it is. Now you about to just go eat some warm food. It's not because that's what you need. It's I knew where the moment when me and him met was where I was stuck. That card kept him stuck from getting a hot meal. So all right, cool. Now since you stuck, let's go.
But you had to accomplish some kind of achievement in order for you to provide, in order for you to be in a position to provide that warm food.
I mean, yeah, like that's ability to work.
Yeah. So what's stopping him from working?
Who knows? Like honestly, I never cared to even find out his personal business.
Last year,
who said he's not working?
Last year we fed almost 500 people through our nonprofit organization. If we wasn't successful, we wouldn't be able to do that.
True, and that's great, bro. I wish, but honestly, I ain't gonna lie, son. If I gotta feed these people myself, I'm with it. Like, I honestly just want to start taking like homeless people, like, hey, I got this in my trunk. Throw it on. Let's go out, grab something to eat. I want to change somebody's life, but if I'm not there to do it, that little moment, I hope it dragged them along to go change his own life. That's like, I'm not gonna say that's not my job, but if I could inspire you and keep it pushing, hopefully that energy kept you to like keep it pushing, because that's what they did for me. Remember I told you in the beginning, oh, you better go to class, you better go to football practice. I'm looking at them like, yo, you didn't go? Because I want to be an asshole. Like, no, I'm too angry. But yeah, when I stopped being angry and realized you had my back, bro, and look at you now homeless. You know what? I don't have everything, but motivation. Hopefully, I know you got a kid or something. Maybe one day you just go visit him just because that advice you was giving him, he might need it. So it's like, I'm not going to say, yeah, I'm going to be rich and give everybody bread, but that energy, I'm going to shoot. honestly, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I could build a treehouse, I'm going, bro. I said this shit on Facebook. I could live off just no money. If I have the tools I need, I could survive. So it's like, when I came to America, actually, that's when I had to realize my country was poverty. I was like, huh? Like, what? You know what I'm seeing on TV is confusing to me. So I got to live, not sheltered, but protective life. You know what I'm saying? Like, my father already knew. So, he knew what's going on. So to the point when it even went back, he telling me stories. So to answer the question you asked me earlier about when he was like, oh, how do you know there's a life before and after? Because I watch it happen and I watch it go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a lot of imaginary stuff I just don't want to play with when I watch life happen and I watch my friends go or this, that, and third go. So it's just like, you know what? Tell me a better lie, because if my friend ain't gonna die, I believe you. You know what I'm saying? Tell me a better lie. Like, if what's gonna happen next? Save him. Bring him right back right now. Do me that favor.
It sounds like you went through a lot of traumatic events. And
I actually didn't. That's the crazy thing. Like, it's just, you know what it is? I actually didn't go through anything. It's literally like my it was really paying attention too much to others.
So where does the associate anger come from? Because you mentioned anger a lot.
Yeah, because watching people treat people like shit and then they think it's cool.
But sometimes your traumatic events could happen vicariously by watching other people go through.
No, that's exactly what it is. Like, I'm gonna tell you the craziest story, right? I feel a way about this. I love Pokemon. And I feel a way. No, seriously. Like, it's that deep. I feel a way, right? I love Pokemon. Like, and I feel a way this much. Too. I played football, and because I was good, they thought I was the cool kid.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, yeah, but it's just like, I'm young. I'm just looking at it like, yo, he got a Pokemon card I want right now. I'm a grown man still playing Pokemon card. But now it sucked when I had to like sit in a popular table. I'm like, I don't even know how to be cool. I'm like, this is not me. Just because I look like I could be cool, I'm not cool at all. I don't want to say, I'm like, yo, hey, I'm a dork. Let me go play Pokemon. But it's like, people gonna laugh at me. And then the people who want to play Pokemon, they looking at me like, yo, don't come to this table, you too cool. And I'm going some like...
But that goes back to what we was talking about before, how a lot of people not comfortable with themselves, and so they hang out with group, they fall into group thought. Like, because they hang out with a group of people, then they start acting like the rest of the people in the group.
Nah, but that's not my case, though. My case is on some... I knew I didn't belong with the popular table.
But you still stayed there.
I mean, I had no choice.
I'm the
captain of the football team. No, I actually sat by myself. I sit by myself. Straight up. I do everything by myself. But it's only because... Like, I'm going to give you the best way I view life, right? It's like I got a chance to get away and, like, hear people talk. And what I mean by that is, like... I'm the football player who gotta hear, like, I love Pokemon, and I gotta hear football people joke about people that love Pokemon. I'm like, little do you know, I'm the captain who actually plays Pokemon too.
But you should have told them that.
No, that's not their business, because at the end of the day, it's not their business what I do. They know, no. Everybody knows. No, people know I play Pokemon, but I'm talking about, like...
But you don't want it publicly too much, no.
Nah, it's not even about... I was young.
And you cared about the opinion of others.
I mean, I had to.
Yeah.
I'm young. I didn't know no better. What am I going to do? Oh, well, my teacher's judging me. They graded me. What else am I going to know but to be judged and graded on my life? So, yeah, when I'm around people, I'm paying attention to how I'm being graded, how I'm being judged, how I'm being looked. Because at the end of the day, when I walk away, it's just like there's a judgment, a comment, there's this, there's that. So it's like, give them something to talk about. But let it be what you want it to be.
Create the narrative.
That's it.
That's why a lot of people like social media. They could create their own avatar.
Yeah, that's just weird, bro.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
But we at that time, bro. It seems like you had a lot to say today.
I'm come again and do it a lot. Yo, I love this, man. I'm really glad you let me come through, man. I just needed to see a little practice. And get it. Like, I love this. Like,
so, yeah, closing thoughts?
Yeah, you know, everything in life comes with a price. And happy birthday, sis.
dope.
Well,
man, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, man. Like, family, bro. Like, that's what you gotta do. Like, you know, help one another. At the end of the day, that's it.
Of course, man. Of course. And I feel like creating the medium, like I always say, like this was created as like a gateway, like a portal where literally hundreds of people done walk through this door and sat in the studio. And, you know, it's different people with their different minds and different abilities and different backgrounds. And we all got something to contribute in this life, you know. We all got the different energies, different soul ties, and different talents. And I feel like as long as we could get the platform and the medium where people could display those talents and could even come around this round golden table and have adult conversations and serious conversations, I feel like that's the blessing in itself.
That's true.
So we thank you for joining us in the Real Word today. Shout out to everybody that's watching today. Shout out to everybody that tuned in live on Facebook. Shout out to everybody that's watching on the Brick Network. Shout out to everybody that's watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube. Hit that bell button. Hit the subscribe button. You could donate at the $, the Real Word Inc. That's the $, the Real Word Inc. Check out our official website at www.therealwordministriesinc.org. That's our 501c3 nonprofit. You could donate. Everything is tax deductible. Also catch us on everywhere and anywhere. Google us. So we thank you for joining us. We close out with a prayer. I don't know if you want to pray.
No, you can pray. I let the you're a pro at this.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this moment in time. We thank you for this blessing where we come together as men. We ask you to continue to bless our works and the things that we do. I ask you to bless the gentleman that came on this platform with me today. Help us to continue to do what we are destined to do. Order our steps, Lord, in everything that we do. In Yeshua the Son, we pray to the Holy Father. Amen. So we thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you guys next week. God bless, guys. Take care. The Real Word.
It's the real word. It's the real